Hi, I'm back with Bill Glauber and Daniel Bice for Winners and Losers. So, Bice, who's your winner?
My winner this week is Jim Sensenbrenner. And there was a study that came out this week on bipartisanship, and it showed that there were two members of the delegation here who worked frequently with people across the aisle. One was Ron Kine, which wasn't surprising since he lives in a district that is very close to a 50-50 district.
La Crosse area.
Right, but it is surprising with Jim Sensenbrenner, who finished second among the Wisconsin delegation, who's in a very, very conservative district. But he has, over the years, you know, whether you agree or disagree with his politics, has reached out. He's even worked with Gwen Moore. What was that on? A voting issue, I think, that he worked with her.
Well, and he's a supporter of the Voting Rights Act.
Right, and so he's been willing to do it, and as a result, he was rated the 65th member most likely to coordinate with people across the aisle, as opposed to, for instance, Glenn Grothman, who was the second to last member of the entire Congress to work with a Democrat in his case.
Obviously also in a very conservative district.
Also
and a very
conservative, but very different approach.
Right.
And I mean, we know Glenn, we both covered him, and you know, he's just very far to the right and sees things a certain way and isn't the type to go and work with someone who he disagrees with. So.
What about your loser?
That would have to be the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office. Yesterday there was a $6.7 million verdict handed down by a federal jury for an inmate who was repeatedly raped while she was pregnant at the jail. It's just the latest in a whole series of bad marks against the jail and how it was run under Sheriff David Clark.
And she was also shackled while she was giving birth, although that wasn't part of the award.
Right, and there are other lawsuits still pending, so this is probably not the last that we hear of problems at the jail. And, you know, obviously the inquest jury recommended criminal charges against 7 members of the jail staff, and John Chisholm, the district attorney, has yet to decide whether he's going to file that or not file those charges.
In the dehydration death, a different case altogether.
Right, so we have many things still out there.
Okay. What about your loser?
Well, Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors, the gift that keeps on giving. Recently, they moved to rescind raises to cabinet members for the county executive ably. And in a free market, what happens? People start looking for new jobs, which leads to my winner, Hector Colon, who was recently hired. He runs Health and Human Services in the county. He will now run Lutheran Social Services, will get himself a good raise, and probably would rather work with a board of a nonprofit than the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors. So yet another indication of why county government is so dysfunctional and why people who are good people can turn away from it.
And he was going to take a nearly $50,000 pay cut under that move by the county board. It was pretty incredible.
It is, and you know, the board says, you know, these are the salaries. The county executive can't go around bumping up salaries. But let's face it, the members of the board are still upset that their power was taken away, that they've been taken from a full-time board to a part-time board, and their salaries were cut. So there we go.
Okay.